We ready?
The smiles on our faces could be about our guest today, but
there's a lot to
could be.
happy about, Zach.
Yes, thrilled. Today is the day. The Start World Cup is in just a couple hours. Be heading down to the Sandler Center, Virginia Beach, for the biggest business bash of the summer.
It's boy, it's going to be awesome. We put a ton of work into this. We put a lot into it. So now it's, like I think I told you last week that this is very much like training for a marathon. As we both are marathoners, we know that you train for months, and then it comes down to race day, or and for this it's game day, event day, and you have to just trust your training, trust that you put in everything that you can into this, and everything's going to be great. And so from that standpoint, I'm super excited. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to wake up and we're like, what do we do now? We've been hustling 12, 13, 14 hours a day, if not more, some days on this event. And now it's behind us.
I do not recall you saying that about the marathon and this and acting like that. So if you said that, I'm glad you did. Appreciate you saying it. It makes sense now. Maybe you said it here, but
no, it wasn't on the show. It was following a meeting that we had. We just, as we put a lot into this. So
look at you
it's
being
for
famous
you, it's
on
for
TV.
the community, it's for the founders. It's just Virginia's on the stage, and we want to make sure that we represent and showcase ourselves well. And I'm pretty confident that it's be great.
Yeah, saw you on TV too, so kudos to that. That was pretty
Our little
cool.
press junket, if you will.
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Yes. A junket?
Not sure. You would think a guy with a journalism degree would know the key terminology. However, I don't.
So,
but
if you're watching this live, if you're watching this, there's still time.
Yep.
To get your last minute ticket, pre-party at the Hive at 3:00, 3 to 5, and we'll make our way to Sandler Center. Get the party started. It's gonna be great.
Absolutely. I'm excited because today's guest, someone who participated in the Start World Cup last year, a company that I believe I did not know of, or not that well at that point. Until that night of, which I think a lot of the coolness about the event is just the unknown businesses that then you get to see, that get a couple minutes on stage or in the crowd. I think that is a unique situation. So we are delighted. I don't know why I always use the word delighted. I need to come up with a new word every week. We are delighted.
That's a great word,
Zach. It's a what word?
It's a great word.
Oh, I think it's a cute.
It's a delightful. Okay. It's a delightful word.
Delightful. It's delightful. Chasity Pritchett of Emblem Olive Oil in the house. Pun intended. How's it going?
Good. I am just so excited to be here. I get your newsletters weekly and I see everybody on the podcast and I'm like, I want to be, I'm never going to get a chance to be on there. So
that's not true.
Here I am. I made it, right? I made it.
Well, I love just your spirit, and I think that, I think that was one of the things that just that hit me last year at the World Cup when you did your pitch. I mean, it was just it was the right pitch at the right time. It hit perfect.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
because I think that did I reach out to you and say, hey, would you be interested in doing that? I think, is that how all that went down?
Yeah. You reached out and was like, hey, we're gonna have a surprise in the audience and make it live. We want to promote other businesses that are in the area that may not be on the stage or not on the stage, but giving us an opportunity to shine. And so that's one thing that I loved about the event last year, that, it gives opportunities for everyone in the Hampton Roads to be seen, even if you're not on the stage. It prepares you for the stage. So I just want to throw that in.
Well, no, and I appreciate you being so willing to do that. And you'd be surprised. Not everybody says yes. And even for that event, not everyone said yes. You did.
Well,
And
I just remember going through all these pictures too, because as we've been kind of promoting the event, we have hundreds of pictures to sift through, and there's always your face just smiling like. And then there's Sonia Phillips with her camera in the foreground, like, oh, I gotta get the picture. Do you know Sonia? You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so funny and entertaining. That's why I was smiling. Like, y'all came from the top, you changed clothes. It was like, am I at the Grammys or what is going on? Is this a competition? It was
this time.
fun.
This year, what's really exciting is we're going to do.
You're muted.
And that's just the first 15 minutes of the show. And I cannot wait.
See, Zach, you got me on that, man.
Oh my God. See what I'm saying? All of these surprises, you're just getting started, Zach.
Zach's surprised. And I was just like,
you said you're muted. Yeah, intentional.
Yeah. That makes me want to share some secrets.
Oh.
But boy,
okay, so I was told when I talked to Chasity recently about this situation that was about to occur on August 13th at 10 p.m. on the HGTV, where, is it not my words, but is it Mom or Monster is the title of the episode.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, like, it's been, a little while since the show has happened, a week or so. I mean, what are your thoughts on it now? Are you happy with the way? Because you had told me, they don't give you a preview of it.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what are your just general thoughts?
Yeah. Well, then after that, I want to hear the backstory on this. But what are your general thoughts on the airing?
I loved it. It was absolutely entertaining. I think it was me and my mom and my daughter. My mom flew up to help me look for a new home. And so my mom is very outspoken. And I mean, her personality has just really showed on the series, on the episode. And so I am very satisfied. Yeah. And now my mom is like America's favorite mom now, because she likes to tell me what to do and what I should do. So yeah, it was great.
I thought sometimes people, this would be me, by the way, they don't dress for the occasion. I thought you had a new outfit every day. It seemed like, I feel like you're, I don't know that the attire was on point. I think you're probably very happy with that. Very interesting. I was trying to figure out, obviously, I'm a man around town. I know some neighborhoods. I was like, okay, where is she in this? Because they kind of give you an idea, and I'm like, is that really right there, or is it over here? Yeah. And so it was quite interesting. I did not think that you were going to choose that one just because of the way that they kind of spun it the whole time. But then it sounds like, did you cave in and listen to Mama a little bit, or how did you finally make that decision? Was it really the kitchen that got you?
You're like, why did you choose the house, Chasity? Okay, so
it was a brand new build, so there's absolutely that.
Yeah, they were just done two maybe a month before I closed on the house. But let's see. Oh, okay, the outfits, we had a dress code, so I wasn't as satisfied with the outfits because some things that I brought, they said, no, you can't wear that on camera because maybe the colors or it had stripes or what have you in it. Okay. So but everybody, I see why on House Hunters, everybody dresses kind of plain, because we have such a narrow dress code. But I'm glad you enjoyed the fashion that I tried to implement as best as I could with what we had. So I chose this home because of location, because it's just me and my daughter. And wait, am I And I still wanted to, I don't want to cut grass and, and all of this. So it was best for me. And I love the kitchen, which I'm getting all of this, like I'm getting it redesigned in the process now. I have a interior decorating firm, so it's going to look so amazing. But yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Okay. Tim, you don't know yet, but I disagree with that statement that you just said, because you were all about this garden the entire time. And then we don't even get a garden. Like, it's like, I don't know. Like, we have conflicting information now that, we're behind the scenes, if you will. So,
yeah. So, I do want a garden, but I would love that, but I know I'm not going to put the time in there to really.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
We think that, and then we.
Yeah,
we think that we want to do it, and then we get it, and we're like, oh damn, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to pay this guy $50 a week to do this thing. Like, it becomes a thing. Yeah. So even though the house you chose was closer to other houses, that first house, they were really close to each other, it seemed like.
Yeah, and it was kind of far. It was far.
Are they all these homes in Chesapeake?
Yes, they are.
The western branch to kind of like my area, Tim. And then
Deep Creek.
The second house was older.
Yeah.
It seemed a little older, and Chasity didn't seem to like the poles in the middle of them. They had like these pillars, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was unclear if they were load bearing. But see, like, you cannot act like I didn't want you cannot act like I didn't watch this episode. I did.
I know, right? I know. I'm like
then I kept going, I wonder if I like her mom or not. I can't decide.
I'm sure Zach probably paused it, rewound it, looked at something. What's the backstory? How did this come to be?
Yeah, my real estate agent submitted my information, like Virginia entrepreneur looking for a home, and they called. We had to like audition, and they picked us. Yeah, they picked us, and it was go time after that. So yeah, but the thing about it is, like, you have to already have your home like closed on the home. So the show it's reality, or it's reality structured TV.
What would happen if knowing you were about to or already close on the house that you did, and then you walk into like the dream home, something that you love way more than what you just put an offer in on? That would be tough.
I mean, you're always going to like see another home, and like, that's even when you close and buy the home that you like, it's always going to be something else out there, that, oh yeah, I wish I had that. But I'm satisfied, I think, because I'm so thankful. Buying a home now is not a easy process or in this economy, and you know what I'm saying? Like so I can't even. And the only thing I can think about is just expansion, like when it's time. You know what I'm saying? Like
two-house Chasity.
Building,
Two-house Chasity. That's what I heard.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I was really impressed with is that entrepreneur from Virginia looking for a home. That there's some challenges there. So I appreciate them identifying that.
They gave her a big plug too, which I didn't expect her to. Like, they did actually let her talk about business multiple times.
Awesome.
Yeah. And at first they said no. At first they said I couldn't have my olive oil, on there, because that was the whole purpose. Like, I'm always gonna market myself the best way that I can. So they said no, but like, God is good. They came back and said, yes, you can. So they filmed like a whole, like with me cooking in the kitchen, and everybody knew that I had an olive oil company. I couldn't say the name, but it's so easy for you to Google Chasity Olive Oil Chesapeake, So yesterday my website was blowing up. I got so many orders, so many followers on Instagram. So it was all worth it.
I dig that.
That's amazing. Yeah. How did you get it? So when did the company start? How did you get into olive oil?
Yeah, so I started in 2019. I was working in corporate, and someone brought me some oil that was infused like from their garden with like peppers. And I was like, they let me taste it, and I was like, this is so good. And I started, I'm like, let me see what's going on in this industry. And I started researching olive oil and learning about the health benefits, learning about how it's not a lot of Black people in the industry, and learning like how can all of this health benefits like reach my community, reach the people that may not know about olive oil. And so I started the company. I went searching for great quality olive oil, and I wanted it to be grown here in the US, so that if I need to fly like, an hour or 2 hours and go and check and see what's going on, I was able to do that. So I wanted my oil to be trusted olive oil, and hey, it took off from there.
Are olives grown here? So
I always thought they were like an Italy thing. Is it not? Is it predominantly Italian?
It is. I mean, they have some of the largest producing the olive oil country is there, in Spain and Italy as well. But the olive trees are grown in Texas and California. United States, only 5 states can grow olive trees. So yeah.
Is that like
a lot of our oil comes from overseas, but the good thing
is that like a latitude thing that only can grow in a certain latitude in terms of like climate, or
yes?
Why only 5 states? Yeah.
Because the climate, olive trees, they last long, but they can't be too cold or it can't be too hot. And so Virginia and the soil, it's just a lot that goes into growing olive trees. And Virginia, I would say it's probably a little bit too cold for the trees.
It does not get cold here.
Well, I mean,
Are you from Georgia?
I am.
Just your mom lived. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Georgia.
I ended up, by the way, just to so when your mom's watching this, I did end up liking her at the end. So I decided that I did like her, and that she did make good points.
She's not a monster after all, right?
Just so that when you're listening to this, Mom, you're not like, I don't know that I like that Zach Miller guy. Now she's gonna hear this and be like, I knew there was something about him that I liked. So she was pretty stern about things like, oh, you don't want to do that. You want to save your money. You don't want this. You're gonna be mad at it. And sounds like she was right.
Yes. She's but at the end, I listen, but I always kind of do what I want to do. But yeah, she was right. I
was shocked at how expensive houses were. Like, I haven't done that process in a long time. Tim hasn't done that in a long time. I was like, whoa. Like, I knew houses were more expensive, but then like to see you like in my backyard basically doing that, I was like, whoa. Like, was not expecting that.
Yes. And I mean, yeah, that's true. Like I started off so low. I'm like, oh, let me try to find a $300,000 home, or like $250,000 to $300,000. And it just wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work. Yeah. I had to go up. I didn't want to, but
So as I'm listening through this 2019 time frame, I feel like, did you used to go to BizConnect at all?
BizConnect. No.
Okay, well, maybe not. Okay. But I thought, now that I was like, okay, I don't know when I met you. I feel like maybe I heard about you back in 2019. So maybe you were at an event there, maybe not. But I then obviously really met you at the World Cup last year. You did your great performance. And then I was talking to Brian Owens over the last year as well, and he was telling me about how you guys went through Black Brand, and how there was some explosive growth from that. Yeah. Can you just go over like how you learned about Black Brand? Obviously, you said one of the reasons why you wanted to start Emblem Olive Oil is because there's not a lot of olive oil businesses that are founded by I never know what the correct terminology is here, so that's why I'm like, I know what day it is of the week, and I'm like, okay, like I don't know what I'm supposed to say here, so like,
it's okay, Zach. Okay,
try to be very respectful.
Black or African American. I mean, I say Black. Sometimes I say African American, but really, I'm Black. So So yeah.
Well, then I was thinking our good friend James Doe says black or brown people. And then I almost said that. I'm like, well, I don't know that. Like,
well, I mean, black and brown, that comes with other races like Indians. And, you know, that's a whole, you know, that's a whole nother, you know, area, you know.
Well, I was just,
I
was stuck for a moment. But you knew what I was trying to get.
Yeah, I'm black, so it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So black founders, not really into the olive oil thing. Something you wanted to start, or there hadn't been a lot of that. It sounds like you meet black bread in some capacity. How do you guys meet them? How do they help you? Stuff like that.
Yeah, within my business, you know, just starting out, you know, I was very inquisitive. I wanted to learn, you know, a lot, and I wanted to just be around people for knowledge. And so I went to Black Diamond Weekend, and some of those workshops, they had like government contractors or people who apply for government contracts. And I was in this workshop, and I'm like, man, I know it's a way that Emblem Olive Oil can get some government contracts. And I was just thinking kind of outside the box. Like, I want to supply America with great quality extra virgin olive oil. And so that same night, you know, the things that I learned about going on sam.gov, I went on sam.gov and I registered my business. I uploaded all the information. And then I'm like, okay, what's next? Because this was all new for me. So I reached out to different people from the government to local people and saying, hey, I want olive oil in the school systems to help with kids, because, you know, olive oil and the benefits would help with brain development. It helps with ADHD, and it's one of the most healthiest oils that you can have. And so I was just reaching out to different people, and then I reached out to USDA. And USDA, they emailed me back and was like, hey, we're working on this project, getting olive oil for Native Americans. And we're just trying to see how this is going to work. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to be a part of this. And so I helped kind of them start or to understand olive oil, like the chemical side of olive oil. And just because, so eventually a bid came out. Now, just because I helped them with this solicitation didn't mean that I was going to get the bid, because it's hundreds and hundreds of olive oil companies. But I think the key with mine is that my olives were grown in the US. Like Tim talked about, you know, Italy, you know, and Spain, and all these Turkey and all these other countries that produce olive oil. But of course, when you're working with United States Department of Agriculture, they want products that are grown here and with American farmers as well. You know, it's helping the economy. And so I placed the bid when it came out, not thinking or not knowing what was going to happen. And so I ended up getting that bid. And so that's, I know I talked about Black Brand and that Diamond Weekend and just being there, but it helped me be prepared, because you had to be on sam.gov in order to even bid. So I was already prepared when the bid came out.
What I hear out of that is, like, you didn't just attend, you didn't just show up, you didn't just read a book, you took action from the thing that you learned from. And I think that's a really, like, incredible step that's missed by so many entrepreneurs, so many individuals. It's like, hey, like, don't just read the book, don't just show up, like, do that action from that. Because if you don't do that action, like, you took so many extra steps out there, sam.org or .gov, then you figured out that the bid was going to come through, that you helped them with that. Like, you took all these extra steps. So many people don't do those extra steps. They just show up and then they're like, well, why didn't it work?
On top of that, it's like a relationship with a banker. You need to establish that relationship before you need it. That process of sam.gov is a multi-week process to get your number and approved and all that stuff. So, like, if you waited for the solicitation and then tried to do it, it more than likely would not work.
What does that stand for?
Sam?
System, Uncle Sam?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know sam.gov. I think it's like system something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder what Uncle Sam.gov is.
It's
That's
where
that's probably just taxes. Oh Lord. So, and that's produced a very good return for you. So kudos for that.
Yeah.
What is it like? What is that? What do you call that? Like B2G, I guess. So business to government. Let's call that.
Oh,
but
okay.
then you have I don't know if that's a thing I made it up or I didn't make it up. I don't know. Right. But then you have the e-commerce business, which we saw flourish after the HGTV piece of it.
Oh.
Like, is it difficult to manage like both sides of that? And then like, do you also do trade shows or anything like that, which is a completely different aspect? Is there a retail side of it? Like some people would just stay in that government lane, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like there might be more.
Yeah, I've been in the retail space. Okay. Like I've been in over 200 stores. And maybe I was too early to go into retail and I did good, but with my product and with me being a smaller brand, right? Retail they take a big part of your margin. Okay. And I don't have like a inexpensive product. Okay. So who's going in Target to buy a 18, 19.99 bottle of olive oil, right? Like you go in, Walmart and you're like, Walmart is shop for less, right? So customers are not going in these spaces to purchase premium olive oil. I did very well in the grocery stores, but I wanted more control over my product. Like the product sits there and it's just, it just wasn't fitting what I had in mind for my company. I wanted to be more involved with my customers, and I really couldn't do that in the grocery stores, plus the cost, plus the kickbacks and this and that. And it was a lot. And so I pulled out of the grocery. And a lot of people don't know that because, I'm like, oh, I'm in the grocery stores. I made it. That was so exciting. And I'm thankful for that. I was working with one of the largest food distributors here in America. But they don't tell you the little stuff that can really bring a small brand down. People can go bankrupt. Okay.
Do you have an example?
So just to piggyback on that, I was talking to Crunchy Hydration, who pitched at the World Cup last year, is pitching again this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I was supposed to tell her this number, but like per SKU, per location, they wanted several $1,000s. So like cans, let's say the line of 7, that's several $1,000s per location.
So you need to add that into your costs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So not necessarily like address, but like every time in Food Line, every time in Kroger, every time in Wawa, several $1,000s just to be in that thing per SKU. Yeah. I mean, that's
and you can negotiate with them. Like people don't know this, but I'm not paying you to put my product in your store. Like I'm not doing that. Now you buy the product and then we'll go from there, So I wasn't, a lot of people have to pay and a lot of people have to give away free product to go in these stores to see if it's going to sell. If your product doesn't sell, you have to buy back that product. I don't know how many retailers do this, but a lot of them do, like the major ones. And so who wants to, and then with olive oil, if it's not open, it doesn't expire. Okay. So but in the grocery stores, you have to put a label on there for when it expires because that's just coding. That's FDA. That's what you got to do. So, they get all this product and they write you this big check. Then after, if a load or however many SKUs don't sell, they want that money back. And it could be like a year from now. And they're like, wait a minute, you still have 20 bottles of spicy Cajun. We're going to bill you for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then, if you're already struggling as a business and you get that invoice for the return, and it's several $1,000s, tens of thousands of dollars depending on product.
Right. And the freight. Like, I had a store that didn't sell the spicy Cajun. This is true. Everything else in these stores they sold. My spicy Cajun, I mean, maybe it was like a pallet. I had to pay for either they're going to destroy it or they're going to donate it. Either, you know, or they can send it back to you. Well, I didn't want my bottles to be destroyed or given away because I've already put in money for that. So I had to end up calling a trucking company, come pick this up, bring it back to my warehouse, and I had to pay for that. So, you know, yeah, all of that.
Wow. Well, circling back around, SAM. It is the System for Award Management.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
System for Award Management. Now we know. The more you know. Is that still a thing?
So when you won the solicitation, were you then on the clock to produce a certain amount within a certain amount of time?
Yep.
And were you positioned to do that?
Yes. Thankfully, thank God. Yeah. But I mean, I didn't know how much oil they were going to be requesting, like 36,000 gallons. You know, it was a lot. So you have like one contract, they break it down like from October to November 15th. We need this load and this many bottles in Kansas. And then November through December, we need this in that location. And I mean, it was a truckload of bottles. Okay. Like, I mean, it was 3,360 cases. So I have 6 bottles in each case. So that's a lot of olive oil. But yes, I was prepared. I had my team. I had different partners. And you know, USDA had to come out to the manufacturing facility and do an audit. This was a year-long process. Like, this wasn't a turnaround and it's done. You know, it had to be inspected where the oil was being manufactured, and it was if something was the water had to be gated or something like that. So I had to go and buy a little gate to put over. So it was a process. And so I had a great.
What does gated water mean? Like
they wanted it like in a cage, like for it not to be just out in the open, I guess. And they wanted a
was there a shark in there or
no? You know what? I don't know why they said that, but that was one of the things they wanted gated. And what else? And then one other thing, security cameras 24/7. So they don't have security on one side of the plant, so had to go and get security cameras on one side so they can watch it 24/7 basically. So we just uploaded it on our phones. And I mean, but these are really simple things to what can actually be, during an audit. So it was things that we were able to handle just very quick. And so I'm thankful for that.
Can I ask a really basic question?
Yeah.
What's the difference between olive oil, virgin olive oil, and extra virgin olive oil?
Yeah, so extra virgin olive oil, it has not been touched. Okay, so it's the purest form of olive oil that you get from the actual fruit. Virgin olive oil means that there is some refined oil. Maybe they mixed it with canola. Maybe it's vegetable, but it's been touched or it's been heated as well. So that's extra virgin olive oil. And virgin olive oil maybe is not up to the standard to be considered extra virgin. It doesn't mean that it's a bad oil, but it doesn't meet the requirements to be considered an extra virgin olive oil.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad I asked that question.
Yeah.
Because
I got a lot to ask about this now. Okay, so that took me to so maybe it's a 2-part question. Are olives a fruit? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Because they have a seed, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So is olive oil considered to be a seed oil when they talk about seed oils being when people
No, olive oil is not a seed oil. Seed
But
oils
it
or
come,
are
but there
refined
are.
oil,
You see
and
where that's confusing, right?
it's
Like,
fruit.
but there is a seed in the olive, and they're also fruit, but it's not a seed oil.
Right.
Please help, Chastity. Please, please.
But it is
So
the healthiest of oils, no?
yes, it's the healthiest of any oil out there. Now, avocado does have their own, they have they have some benefits, but when it's compared to a extra virgin olive oil, there's no comparison. And so, yeah.
Well, because
You
I
know what
think
I
that the
love?
whole. Go ahead.
Avocado oil is great for a high smoke point. Olive oil
Well,
is not, at least not in
no,
my
that's not
house.
correct. No, that's not
I don't believe
correct.
it. Damn.
So let me just say this, y'all. I am a sommelier of olive oil. Okay, so I am a certified. I studied in London, and became a sommelier. And there's a lot of myths about olive oil that I am here to dispel, not just to you, Zach, but to everyone around the world. Okay, so
What's myth
so
number one?
myth. Okay, let's start with the smoke point. Olive oil has, you can cook in some of the highest smoke point, and the nutrients will still be there. When we're cooking in our kitchen, your stove doesn't cook like a kitchen, like a industrial restaurant, or you know what I'm saying? So it is safe to cook olive oil in a smoke point that's up to 429 degrees, which your kitchen, probably some restaurant kitchens don't even get to that point. So you can fry in olive oil, you can deep fry in olive oil, and it's way better than frying in canola or these seed oils like your soybean and your sunflower, or even your canola, which is very high in cholesterol. So yeah.
Okay. So maybe I
I know.
misunderstood. Maybe I misunderstood what a smoke point meant or whatever they think. But I disagree with you. I think I want to hear. I want to hear what Mama thinks.
Well, maybe
in
you're
this
not using
because
extra virgin, Zach. Maybe.
no, it is absolutely. It's an expensive bottle. I throw that on there, and it gets a little hot, and it goes, boom, and then the smoke detector goes off. Don't you dare talk about my cooking. I know what you're trying to do. You're gonna say maybe you don't. Doesn't happen with avocado oil.
What would be the cost of some
You need
higher
to
end
get some
olive
Emblem
oil?
olive oil fried. Huh?
What would be
What'd
the
you say?
price point of like some of the more expensive olive oils on the market?
I mean, let me say this. Olive oil is just kind of like when you're shopping for wine. If you get the $5 wine bottle, then we know that's probably not going to taste as good. Okay. If you go a little bit higher, it's going to taste all right. You can deal with it and maybe drink it with some pasta. So it's the same. So olive oil can range, my bottles are $26.99. But depending on where it comes from, I mean, it can be more, it can be 50, 60 and continue to go up.
Mm.
And that really determines, sort of like the quality of the oil.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's your answer, Tim.
Which
buy
ultimately
really cheap olive oil.
Which depends, is determined on the quality of the olive, I would imagine.
The fruit.
Not really. The olive is the olive. It's determining on the process. Okay, of the olive and how the process is, and so that's how you can really taste a good olive from how the process is done.
Do you like Mediterranean food?
I love Mediterranean food. Yeah,
I would hope so.
I teach the Mediterranean diet. So, yeah.
So I'm assuming that a lot of the success that you found from your business, that was the enabler for you to start your foundation.
Yeah, that's Tim, that's good you brought that up, because during COVID I saw that a lot of people were passing away because of high blood pressure, because of high cholesterol. And I'm like, wait a minute, there is a way for you to be able to live longer. And I want to say 2 to 3, and I'm going to throw this out there. 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil reduces and prevents your chance of having heart disease. All right. So if I know this knowledge and I know that you can actually come off of medication because of your diet and olive oil, then I have to let people know. So I started in 2020 during COVID, Let's Fight Back. And so that's my foundation, Let's Fight Back. People come to me with different ailments, inflammation, high blood pressure, all of these diseases that are really not allowing them to have a fulfilled life. And I'm like, look, come to my program. It's free. It's for 12 weeks. You study you go by my meal plan, and it's a faith-driven foundation. So we pray, and people just trust this process. And so I have seen people come off of insulin. People have lost weight. People are no longer having different, if you're in menopause, people with hot flashes, they have no hot flashes as long as you're eating the right foods that are heavily induced in olive oil. So I started Let's Fight Back, and and it's just been an amazing foundation and an amazing way to connect with people from all over the world.
So when you say a couple tablespoons,
maybe 3,
does that mean like just down the hatch, or you cook with it, or?
You can do either way. You can take it as a shot. You can put it in your smoothie. You can put it in your coffee in the morning, or you can cook with it. That's fine. So yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing a story way back when, I believe it was American Idol. This lady, her name was Fantasia, I believe. She used to help her vocal cords, she would take like a shot of olive oil right before, because it would loosen her pipes, if you will.
Oh wow. Okay, I haven't heard that before, but I'm not surprised. Olive oil is so good for everything.
The more you know.
Yes. Now I can get that on my list. I have to do some research though, but to make sure.
Yeah, trust.
Yeah.
You can't just trust what I'm saying. That might have been a Zach stat. I might have dreamed it.
No, her vocals are amazing. Her vocals are amazing. So that may be true. That may be, she won, didn't she? Yeah.
I feel like she did. Is that show still doing well? Is it still on?
I don't even watch it.
It is still on.
Used to love it.
Yeah.
So, where do you see this going? Where do you see Emblem Olive Oil in the future? What do you see as the future?
Can you repeat that question? Oh,
where do you see this going?
I talked about this before. I think, Zach, I never know what direction Emblem is going in, because I never know. But I can tell you that it's going to be something great. I'm going to be here for a while. And, that's pretty much it. I don't know which way we're going to go. And I think I lead by, leading with just faith and believing in God that he will take me where I need to be. And so that's where I'll be. I'll be here and I'll be successful.
Yeah. I mean, that's, it's just weird in the sense of you never know where business is going to take you, and you just have to be open to follow that path of least resistance and lean in for the ride and enjoy it.
Yeah, because every time you set yourself up and you say, I want to go this way, I want to do that, it doesn't happen that same way, or it doesn't last. When me, just even me, I had to learn is don't just always have a plan, but if the plan may go another way, then just be okay with going another way. Because a lot of times my plans don't be working for real. They don't work. Or, it was get in the grocery store. And I mean, it worked, but it didn't work because I lost money and, the grocery store is taking. So I just let things just flow and continue to just be in alignment. So,
and I think that's where a lot of people have that misconception that, starting a business And even if you're an existing business, it is a series of experiments and you have to test it out. And if it works, you continue on the path. If not, you figure out a new path to go down.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And I learned this. I read this book by David Green, the CEO of Hobby Lobby, Not Your Average Leadership, or Not Your Average Leader, or something like that. And it just really woke my eyes up. Like, he tries a little bit, and he's a successful business, Christian business, and is doing well. And so I like to take pointers from individuals that are kind of like on the same path as me. And he tries different things, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then he go back and it wasn't meant to work. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of guide my business like that. Continue to work, continuing to research, and continuing to help people. And wherever I go, that's where I go.
I don't know when society changed to a point where it was a bad thing to change your mind or educate yourself and think about something differently. It's that's totally okay. It's not a bad thing.
Right.
I would encourage it.
Yes, that is so true, because your thoughts change and people get up. People don't want to. They want you to be where they're at, and they want you to be and doing and. I could say one thing today on this podcast, and my business may do something else, and I'm okay with that. So I'm all for change and having my own mind and not doing what the world is expecting you to do. And so.
Well, I think the perfect case in point is the whole world was led to believe that canola oil was going to be the thing to save everyone. And it turns out that it is not really healthy at all. It
is not. It's not, yeah.
Well, we also have the food pyramid.
Yeah, we do. That needs
I was
to
okay with them adding pizza to the food pyramid because of the tomato sauce. I was totally okay with that.
Because it's a vegetable. Yeah.
They need to. Yeah, they definitely need to revise that. Hopefully, Brooks over agriculture for the United States, she will do something with that. I don't know.
Did I hear on the show you said you took $200 and turned it into a multi-million-dollar business? Did I hear that?
Yes. I started with $200. I didn't plan for having an olive oil company, so I was still working in corporate, but I still had other things that I was doing, life, and so I really didn't have a lot of funds to make this happen. So in the beginning, what I did was I took us $200 and I went to, it's a school in Virginia Beach, a high school, but they train, or they have trades, like kids that want to do photography, kids that want to do videography. I went to the school systems and I asked, hey, can some of your my first commercial? And one of the kids knew somebody down at Oceanfront, and they let me use their house. And I think I paid $100 for that. I did pre-orders on my bottles, in the beginning for people on my website. I did pre-orders, so I didn't spend any money going out. So the money that came in, I invested it back into my business to buy inventory. And so, I stretched the $200 until, I was able to expand, my marketing and supplies and labels and all of that.
How big is the team that you're working with now?
I have a small team. It's just 2 people here locally, but I have my larger team, is in California and Texas. The people my manufacturers, they are a part of my team. My farmers, they are a part of my team as well. But working in my business is only, I have a project manager assistant that handles a lot of my day-to-day, reaching out to different potential customers and things like that.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another thing too, whereas everybody wants to measure success of the business based on the size of the team. Whereas things today are much, much different. You don't need a big giant team like you used to back in the day. So I applaud you for having a smaller team but yet having a larger team that makes everything happen, because that lowers your overhead and then ultimately lowers the risk that you have.
Yes, yes, that is true. I was thankful when I was able to bring an extra person on, and I make it work. Eventually, maybe I would like to have office space and but I really don't need that right now. And I'm not too quick to jump into things because the way that it looks, and that's why I don't really ask, investors in my company, because that's not the direction I want to go in. I hope, that's not for me.
And it doesn't need to be. So a lot of founders that I talk to, I have that conversation with them. It's just like, hey, not everyone needs to raise capital. I mean, if you can do this all on your own and bootstrap this and own 100% of it, then that's great. Otherwise, you're jumping on that treadmill. You set that thing at 10, and you're not allowed to get off that treadmill until you sell or you're let go by the board. I don't know, but you're not allowed to get off that treadmill. You got to keep on running.
Yes. How stressful is that for a new startup company?
Right.
Like, you have people hounding you, and I knew that wasn't the direction, and I mean, I have a food product, and it's a million of them out there. So but I know mine is already showing up in the world that is different. And I'm thankful for that. So I really don't need, I don't see myself anytime having investors in my company.
Well, kudos to you for that. Because a lot of times I also tell other founders, it's like, spend the time to find your customers. And if you can generate the sales and the revenue, then you may not need investors anyway. So
yeah,
but I don't know why so many people are afraid to sell and talk to customers. Customers are going to tell you everything that you need to know.
Yes, they do. Yes.
What has been your trick to getting people to believe in you, try the product? Any headwinds that you had? How did you overcome those?
Yeah, I think that my passion shows up. Yeah. When I'm talking about olive oil, when I'm talking about these amazing fresh flavors that I have. And so it is easy. It's easy to get people to try it. Yeah. I am who I am, I'm very authentic, and I think people they gravitate to that more. And just me being myself, and actually, not being afraid to go out there and ask, for anything that I want. I'm going to ask, even if I get a no. I'm not afraid, because I know that is what success means. I really just like to be at home, reading by myself. That's my thing. But I know I have this business, so I have to do these interviews, and I have to show up here and do that. So I kind of take myself out of it and just really know that. And I think I show up and I support. So, yeah.
Do you see yourself as, are you an introvert at heart?
I can be both.
Yeah.
But I'm really an introvert, and people would not even believe that. But I know me, my family know that I don't have to be here and there and talking, but I have to do it because of my business. So that's some of the sacrifice, which I don't mind it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's there, because there's some times where it's like, gosh, I don't really feel like turning the switch on to be super extroverted and playing that part. Sometimes it just really drains me, and I'm just not in that mindset.
Yeah. And if I'm not in a mood, I don't force myself. If I'm not in the mood, then I won't go. I learned because I have to take care of me first. And so, yeah, Yeah.
But I agree. You know, I appreciate you sharing the fact that you have to have that belief in yourself and that passion that comes out of you. And so many people,
Yeah.
when they are talking to people, they try to focus on providing the answers that they think that the person they're talking to wants to hear, as opposed to just believing in yourself and the passion that you have, and that just radiates from you. And yeah, I'm ready to go out there and buy a couple bottles of some olive oil.
Yes. Find me on Amazon, my website. Yeah. Check out the reviews. Yeah.
I love it.
That's good.
Is there any local restaurants that carry your product?
No, but the Chrysler gift shop carries my product. If you go in there in Norfolk, Chrysler, they've been carrying it now for about 3 years, for a very long time. We have a great working relationship. People love the oil. It sells out crazy in the Chrysler. So yeah, hopefully, some of the restaurants, the Italian or, the restaurants that really heavily use olive oil, they will be open to, trying Emblem one day. We'll see.
Well, the reason that we ask that is we round out the show with, is there a food of the region? And if there's not a food of the region, then is there a restaurant that you frequent?
Like to partake in? Yeah.
Yes.
A local restaurant that's not franchise, local.
Yeah, I mean, just because one of the things that the bigger thing that we're trying to figure out here is what is it that bonds this region together? And one of the things is sports, but we don't have a top 4 professional sports team, so another bonding thing is food. You have Buffalo wings, and you got Chicago deep dish pizza, whatever the case is, crab cakes. What does this region have? Is there something that we should be known for? Maybe it's olive oil, Emblem Olive Oil.
Yeah, maybe it's tastings. Come to Virginia and you'll have your own personalized olive oil tastings. We have a lot of distilleries around here. We even have a lot of wine companies. I would love to collaborate with Williamsburg Winery, with Waterside, I think that's the name. With the Cavalier. If you're tasting olive wine, then why not have a tasting for olive oil? And so I would love to collaborate on that level.
That took a turn. It was like, well, let me think. You know what? Let me just plug myself. I love that. I'm going to start this new thing. It's anytime I hear someone give a plug, I'm just going to just plug. I love it.
Yeah.
Chasity, this has been great. We really appreciate your time doing this. Everyone check them out, emblemoil.com. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Mr. Ryan?
I am going to make my way through the bridge tunnel. Looking forward to tonight. It's going to be a great time. Please attend if you're able to attend. It's not too late. This will. I 100%. I am not one to make declarative statements, but I will say this will be the event. When you find out about everything that happened tonight and you did not make it, you're going to be really disappointed that you didn't.
I just can't wait to show everyone.
Yes.
And just to think that, I thought I was going to get you a second time, but I didn't. Oh, man.
You almost did.
Yeah, make sure you show up. It's going to be so much fun, guys. If it's anything like last year, you're in for a treat, okay?
Well,
and, I want to say go ahead.
No, I think that was probably two things that were the most stressful. One, the fact that we were going to a bigger venue, so that there was pressure there, but really was like Zach and I talking how in the world are we going to elevate what we did from the last year? And we did. I promise you that we did. And I'm just bursting to when I wish that I could tell some of the secrets that Zach shared, but I don't trust myself with the mute button. I don't know. Like, I do not know if we could top ourselves again next year. I don't know if it's possible.
Oh, wow.
It's true.
Man, I hope I get out of my meeting, so I'm gonna run over there. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how long it's gonna be. I try to make it for sure.
I start
or
to get
just move the meeting there.
I get a little teary-eyed just thinking about it because we put so much into this.
Love it.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, all right. See you guys there tonight, 5 p.m. Sandler Center. Chasity, it's been lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for saying yes. Finally on the show. Yes, I made it in Hampton Roads. I'm on the show. So great.